Let's take a look here. They are getting ready to lock in very soon. We have those similar teams again. What we saw from P4T0M yesterday was pretty much the same team. And why would you change a winning team? He ran Spiritomb double water over and over.
And actually, yeah, the teams are very similar. The only Pokemon that changes is that Licky for that Dunsparce, but their role is the rollout is almost the same, right? And we see the double water strategy that Hikhami actually didn't pull against Calling 6. So I think it's a very solid strategy that both players might use. We saw P4T0M likes this strategy a lot, so I'm kind of predicting that we'll see that in some games.
The one difference between Licky and Dunsparce is that Licky generally has a charge stack Body Slam. But you don't want to throw Body Slam into Ghost-type Pokemon. In the video game series, normal against Ghost-type Pokemon are completely immune. They will not take damage. In Pokemon GO, we have the double resistance instead. So Body Slam will deal some damage, but it's almost nothing. And Earthquake takes really long to get to. So you can imagine that when you're building all the way to that Earthquake, and then it gets shielded, it makes it a pretty good matchup for Spiritomb. And Dunsparce, on the other hand, has Drill Run, which charges a little bit quicker than Earthquake. So that's why Dunsparce does a little bit better there, because it gets neutral attacks quicker.
Yeah, let's see if Dunsparce does much better here. And yeah, also that Rock Slide coverage for the bug types, right? And it's so hard to catch against Dunsparce because it has almost perfect coverage. The only Pokemon typing that resists both is Grass Fighting, and Fighting is banned here, so there's no way you can catch a charge attack from the Dunsparce and resist it. And we go into the first game.
Here we go. We have from Hikhami Seeking into Shadow Beedrill from P4T0M. This is generally a favorable matchup for Shadow Beedrill. Wait, what? It's a water type. Well, the thing is, Seeking has the fast attack Peck. And Peck is a flying fast attack. So you see the HP from Beedrill going down pretty quickly, but also from the Seeking, because Bug Bite just hits so hard.
Yeah, it's looking pretty neutral here. And actually, P4T0M going for the bait here. This call is huge because you don't want to shield the Felslinger. It doesn't do that much damage.
Oh, and what we're about to find out now, X-Scissor could have knocked out this Seeking. Felslinger, on the other hand, does about no damage. Can you now get the Bug Bite down entirely on the Seeking, or can it get to a charge deck? Oh, the Seeking goes down!
That's a huge farm now. This Beedrill has the attack buff. It needs to throw on an X-Scissor.
X is coming through. You have to put a Protect Shield here, because this would do a lot of damage to Spiritomb. And Hikhami has been relying on Spiritomb a lot. We see from P4T0M, he does have Shadow Drapion within this time, but he does have that double water again. Seeking has the access to the charge deck Icy Wind. It will drop the attack from this Spiritomb, but it also has Mega Horn. So this becomes a little bit of a nasty situation for Hikhami. You don't want to shield an Icy Wind, but you also cannot take a Mega Horn. Which choice do you make right here?
Yeah, but this charge attack is actually less threatening. Yeah, and it goes over no shield because this Seeking is debuff, and he calls the Icy Wind here.
Indeed, a Mega Horn wouldn't have done as much, but we see Hikhami switch into Milotic immediately, which makes it a little bit awkward because you have to go for a wrap here. You know that P4T0M is very likely to go for Mega Horn. No, he's going for another bait. This is resistance. Would do almost no damage, but P4T0M, he is already getting there. He's baiting again and again, and if it doesn't work once, you do it twice. Now he gets the Protect Shield from this Milotic. That would have done no damage, but now you have an attack drop, and that is huge.
P4T0M is a madman. That bait was diabolical here, and will P4T0M actually get aggressive here? I don't think this takes out the Seeking. No, switching out to the Milotic here.
This is a great play from P4T0M, swapping out immediately, realizing Seeking might just be used later as a potential catch or to clear the Wrap debuff that we're going to see here. Like Rock Tomb always drops the attack of an opposing Pokemon, Wrap always drops the defense of an opposing Pokemon. So you're going to see that health drop way much more. Now clearing the drop with swapping into Spiritomb, because swapping out clears a debuff.
Yeah, Hikhami really wanted to get the Wrap there onto the Spiritomb, but no, gets the Aqua Tail, gives some energy for P4T0M, and P4T0M is playing this perfectly.
In comes the last Pokemon again, but now that there's no switches left, Hikhami cannot clear any debuff anymore. Keep in mind that Seeking has some health still, and I think that Beedrill might be able to get a few Bug Bites in too. Was this Milotic still debuff? If so, this Wrap will get really close to knocking out.
This is a race. Do you throw the Aqua Tail? It's going very low. No, switching to the Seeking actually.
Oh, it doesn't get to a charge attack though. Can any of the other Pokemon of P4T0M get there? Can it get to an Aqua Tail? Yes, because he cleared the debuff. This was a genius play from P4T0M.
P4T0M here playing perfectly, getting the first game on Hikhami, and Hikhami losing 4 games in a row. How do you come back from this?
This is very tough on Hikhami, but let's recognize the skill that P4T0M showed there. It was looking like he was trying to get to a charge stack on Seeking, and I was like, wait, Can Hikhami win now? But no, what P4T0M did there was clear all those wrap defense drops, and because that happened, the next fast attack from the opposing Milotic wouldn't knock out, and through doing so, he got to the final Aqua Tail that knocked out the last Pokemon from Hikhami. This is why he's one of the best.
P4T0M is unreal. He doesn't make mistakes. He cannot catch against him. What do you do? How do you win against this person?
Let's take a look again at these replays here. No shielding of Felstinger gave Hikhami a lot of momentum here, but barely not getting to a charge stack put him quite behind, because now P4T0M had a charge stack that you had to shield on your next Pokemon. The Ice Wind call. Hikhami kind of had everything there that he needed to do, but maybe he needs to stay into that Spiritomb for a little bit longer so he could get to a charge stack later on, because swapping into Milotic maybe set him back a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm amazed by the matchup of the Beedrill against that Seeking, right? Getting the Fountain down and getting the shield back, that was absolutely phenomenal tools by the Beedrill there. And we saw again double water from both trainers. Hikhami decided to run water in the lead and in the back, and P4T0M going for that ABB strategy, right? Be in the water.
Take a look at this. He swaps out right here because one more Dragon Tail would otherwise knock out because of the wrap debuff. But because he switched into that Seeking, he cleared the debuff. Now he hung on to a Dragon Tail, and through doing so, P4T0M was able to get to a charge stack he normally would not have gotten to.
That came down to the wire. Both Pokemon from P4T0M remaining were very low HP. If you do one single mistake there, it might be a charge attack priority there. So if you make a single mistake here in the finals, your opponent is gonna definitely take advantage of it.
Hikhami has to lock in here. He has 4 losses in a row, but do not underestimate him. Like I said before, he has taken down a world champion in this tournament run, so Hikhami does have what it takes to get back into the game. Both trainers are locked in. We're getting ready for game number 2. Charizard, show us! It is Licky for Hikhami into Shadow Beedrill from P4T0M. This is a favorable matchup for Licky, but we see P4T0M staying in a little bit. He's going to try and catch a charge stack on the Spiritomb potentially. Oh, he does! Just like I predicted. Normal typing is double resistant on Ghost, so this will deal almost no damage. Tremendous play from P4T0M.
How does he be getting away from this? Does an extra fast attack, predicting his opponent, and answered by the Milotic here.
Milotic pace is really quick compared to Spiritomb. Spiritomb takes a while to get to his charge attacks, and that's why Hikhami swaps in here just to get the damage in before we see the attack drop from Rock Tomb here.
The Shadow Ball, no, going for the Rock Tomb. This is not going to take out this Milotic. This could be a good call to swing the tides to Hikhami's favor. Will he make the call here? No, go for the shield.
Hikhami has been pretty accurate in some of his bait calls here, but didn't want to take any chance there. Like you said, a Shadow Ball would have knocked out here, and going for the double Aqua Tail here. He has 2 attacks loaded. P4T0M also has an attack loaded, and P4T0M knows that Spiritomb will get to throw a charge stack if both Pokemon throw that charge stack now, because a higher attack. No, he keeps the Shadow Ball and catches again! Oh my Milotic, this man is playing out of his mind!
This man is way ahead of his opponent, doing the steps before them, and actually getting answered by the Spiritomb again.
Spiritomb is coming in. We have 1 protection on both sides here. P4T0M is pacing much faster here. The thing is, I think that as Hikhami, you want to throw the charge stack immediately. And the problem is, if P4T0M doesn't throw his charge stack, then we saw earlier that a Sucker Punch would sneak through, a whole Dragon Tail would sneak through. And this time, Hikhami predicts that P4T0M would not throw yet, so he's going for a Rock Tomb after 1 more fast attack.
I think P4T0M needs to shield here. Oh no, actually calling the Rock Tomb, and he survives.
That's a great call. A Shadow Ball there would have knocked out and depleted all the energy from Milotic, but perhaps Hikhami is just looking to get energy on one of his other Pokemon. Keep in mind that Shadow Beedrill from P4T0M still has some energy. It's coming in right here after the farm down from on the Spiritomb.
P4T0M getting aggressive here, but this Beedrill is gonna be against this Licky again, and this is not somewhere you wanna be.
Will the Bug Bite and the X Scissor knock out this shiny Licky? Hikhami has to make a call here. Felstinger would do no damage with X Scissor. That is this attack. This would have dealt a decent amount of damage here. Is Licky fast enough to knock out the Beedrill?
That's a great shield, but the Beedrill is actually getting very close here to another X Scissor, and there's still a Milotic in the back, but this is going to be a race here.
I think that Hikhami is going to try and make a catch here. Oh, he doesn't even need to maybe. Does P4T0M have enough energy? Felstinger is coming through here. Won't deal a lot of damage, but will boost the attack of the Shadow Beedrill. I think Licky will outpace to a Body Slam though, but the timer, as you see on the right side, is up. Does he make a catch here? Oh my! That's the 3rd catch this game! How does he do it?
P4T0M is playing out of his mind here. He didn't even need that catch. There's a Rock Tomb in the back. He's just doing it for the show here.
This is why he is the reigning Europe International Champion. P4T0M takes game number 2.
What a showcase P4T0M is giving up here. Going 2-0 against Hikhami, and Hikhami needs to go back to the drawing board.
3 catches in 1 game. Did we even see that once yesterday or the day before? Like, I don't think we've seen it all weekend. P4T0M4N is giving us on Championship Sunday the best showcase of Pokemon Go. Wow.
I have never seen a player play so well in a tournament. This is absolutely incredible, unseen.
Look at that smile. He knew what he was doing.
That's
He knew what he did there.
Yeah, that catch wasn't even, you didn't even need to do that catch.
This is the first catch. This is the first catch. So we don't have immunity
Amazing.
like normal type on Ghost typing in Pokemon Go. This Body Slam still dealt a little bit of damage because of double resistance instead. And then another catch on a resisted Aquatil.
Yeah, P4T0M4N is actually very smart here. He knew that the catch was very obvious, right? If you go for the body slam instantly, so he did an extra more, catches the charge attack there, then saves the Rock Tomb, catches an Aquatil.
And now the third catch. Here it comes. One more rollout for an attack, but P4T0M4N knows that he's been counting and the body slam on the Milotic. Otherwise, this body slam would have knocked out the Shadow Beedrill. P4T0M4N potentially could have lost that game. I mean, Spiritomb got to another charge stack here, so maybe not. But if you could get that energy management right, maybe Licky could have won the game for Hikhami. That was incredibly close, despite all these catches from P4T0M4N. Perhaps he just needed that to advance in this round here. But one more game for P4T0M4N to make it for the grand finals. Hikhami needs a reverse sweep.
I think P4T0M4N had it all planned, and what a confidence by this young man, right? In the Championship Sunday, in the biggest tournament of all time for Pokemon GO, right? And you have the confidence to make those plays at the finals, right? This is losers finals. Whoever advances here goes to the grand finals, and you just catch.
The thing about P4T0M4N is P4T0M4N is the type of player, and rightfully so, to come into a tournament and say, the only place that matters for me is #1. He is so incredibly good. He top cuts pretty much every tournament lately that he has been competing in. And if he would get another silver trophy or silver medal, I think a lot of us would be very happy with that. P4T0M4N might be like, oh man.
Yeah, you're completely right. I spoke with him, and the only position he will be happy with is first place. Anything else, it's a bad tournament for him somehow. But yeah, we're going to the game 3 here. Let's see how these players adapt. Maybe we see double water again. It's working out very well.
Take a look at these achievements from these trainers. The Lille regional champion this season, Hikhami. He also top cut at EUIC 2 seasons ago, and he did quite well in Lille 2024. But around all these tournaments, he always got to like the losers finals of his group, so he hardly ever made day 2. Only since this season, he is skyrocketing to become one of Europe's best. And even though he's not been very lucky so far on Championship Sunday, do not be surprised if Hikhami now makes a reverse sweep. Let's talk about our train on the right here.
I mean, what is there to talk about P4T0M4N? You can see it on screen, right? World's finalist in Anaheim, that was like 6 months ago, right? And just decided to keep on winning. He reached the finals of LAIC, and he's looking to reach the finals here at the biggest tournament of all time. So there's no one that can compare to P4T0M4N right now.
And the EUIC champion from last season. The one accolade we're missing in there, of course, he's also won regional champions. What hasn't he won at this point? He also reached the top 3 at the NAIC. The NAIC, North America International Championship, is the next international championship coming up after this, which will be, I believe, out of the top of my head, around 12th and 13th of June. But yeah, make sure to look out for that as well. If you're loving these battles, follow all the channels, because you do not want to miss out on these big and hype tournaments.
Yeah, and I need to keep talking about what you were talking about. P4T0M4N is in a calendar year. He won the European International Championship. After that, NAIC was top 3,
yes,
right? And then in the World Championship, he went to the finals. Then in the LAIC, he went to the finals. And now he's looking to go to the finals, all in one calendar year. That is...
Most trainers don't even get to see the grand finals. They can only dream of it. I spoke to my colleague commentator, Arceus Aurelius, and he told me, I know that like I see all these players and I'm just dreaming of making it there one day as well. You need to lock in though. And Hikhami is the prime example. Perhaps one day those dreams can become true if you just lock in, if you bring the experience that you built up, you practice with your friends. There's a great community in Pokemon GO. Exchange ideas. Perhaps one day you might make it to that grand final stage.
Yeah, Hikhami has a long ladder to climb, right? But do not count him on yet. There's a lot of comeback potential here. We have seen some players start 2-0 in their series and get reverse swept, losing 3-2. So P4T0M4N does not have to abuse of the confidence here. He needs to know that anytime there could be a comeback.
At this point, P4T0M could play a little bit more risky. He is 2-0 up already, and he knows
he likes to play risky.
He would need to lose 3 times. Here we have, it's the Shadow Beedrill Mirror.
Yeah, this is resisted bug by both Beedrills, but it doesn't look like it, right? Oh, P4T0M go for this. Oh, X's for both, but Hikhami takes the charge attack priority.
Hikhami is running a lot of Pokemon with a bit of a higher attack set. P4T0M calls it. This is resistant, but still does a lot of damage. Does Hikhami call that this is also an X, or do you use the protection now, knowing you can get the bug bite down regardless? No, he lets it go as well.
No, he doesn't need this Beedrill, and P4T0M actually getting a risk here. What a play. Getting answered by the Seeking, but P4T0M is ahead.
Important moment there that P4T0M swapped earlier than Hikhami did, and going for the Ice Wind. We saw Hikhami shoot resist Ice Wind earlier. Does he call it this time? Oh no, he protects shield, another resisted charge attack. And the thing is, this will also drop the attack of the opposing Seeking. Now your Mega Horn is less fearsome as well, and I think Hikhami knows that, but P4T0M sniffs it out. He shields out the hard-hitting Mega Horn.
Yeah, very respectable play by Hikhami, but P4T0M is so ahead here that he just wants to shield and maybe go for another Icing. We have seen, oh no, going for the Mega Horn.
At this point, he goes for another Mega Horn. This will knock out the opposing Seeking. Do we see this fish go upside down? No. He puts up the Protect Shield, protects that Seeking. The timer's almost up for P4T0M. Is he going for another catch here? No, we see the Ice Wind come through this time. And now Hikhami gets back at him. He gets the bait with the resisted Ice Wind, which will drop the attack as well of the Seeking.
Hikhami is coming back in this game, but there's a catch available here. Who's gonna catch first? Actually, P4T0M over the catch, but they both catch, but P4T0M farms it out first.
They both tried to catch there, but because the Seeking from P4T0M earlier got a peck into the Beedrill from Hikhami, Hikhami goes down earlier. The thing is, now you can get a full Dragon Tail down if you now come in with Milotic, which is what P4T0M is doing. It's going to take the full brunt of this Mega Horn, though.
P4T0M playing out of his mind here. He looks very confident here. This farm now might be huge. There's no switch timer here.
This damage is so important, though, but keep in mind that P4T0M, I believe, is very close to a Mega Horn as well. This Ice Wind will drop the attack of this Milotic. The thing is, can you get the wrap damage in and then a Mega Horn of your own on P4T0M? That is his only win condition here.
This wrap is going to be massive here because it's going to soften up this Milotic coming in. Doesn't even see them throwing instantly.
This will get very, very close down to the wire. Wrap is going to drop the defense of Milotic. The timer is up, but P4T0M staying in for a little bit.
He wants another one.
He knows you need a full wrap. Going for the charge attack priority, however, I'm not sure if that's what you want to do as Hikhami, because he does need to preserve HP, but he also needs to be careful to not... He needs energy for Seeking. Seeking still has too much health here. It has a Mega Horn loaded, and here it comes. Keep in mind, the defense has been dropped of Milotic. Seeking has a pretty high attack here. Mega Horn is coming through. Boom!
It's so close, and Seeking going for the round here. P4T0M is going to take a 3-0 victory over Hikhami and advance to the grand finals.
P4T0M is your reigning USC champion for a reason.